Surprise Valley is a hidden gem in southeast Boise, surrounded by the foothills and stunning views of the Boise River. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos of Boise, and if you're curious to know more about Boise and to know what it's like to live here and what the real estate market is like, then be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so that you guys can be notified when I post new videos every week. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys on a tour of Surprise Valley, which is located in southeast Boise. It's a great little neighborhood if you're wanting access to walking trails, a really well-designed community, and you want to be away from town a little bit, but not too far away. I'm going to be giving you guys a driving tour as if you were with me and I was taking you to see Surprise Valley. So here we are starting our tour of Surprise Valley, and we're going to be turning left onto Surprise Way. Directly ahead of me though, before we get going, there is a park right up there, which is really nice, and it has a trail down to it too for the community up above. I am currently pulling out of a parking lot, which is East Wind Community Church. And then up here, we have another church, which is Eagle Christian. And I'm gonna pull over right here to let some of these cars pass me. As you can see, they designate the shoulder for bicycles. And then on the left up here, or on the left side of the road, there is a walking path. And this road is a way for people to get through, and then all the houses are kind of pocketed off this road. So even though we are seeing some traffic here, it doesn't mean that traffic is going directly by your house. So now we're gonna go ahead and turn left, and we have the overlook at Surprise Valley, and we're gonna have some condos here. We got a community pool off to our right. And as you can see from the map too, if you look down, that is the Boise River in front of us, and then immediately in front of us, that first waterway, is the canal system. And so we're gonna go ahead and turn right. And I believe at the moment there are 2 homes for sale, or condos for sale, in this area, and then currently 1 home for sale. So you got these condos here, you got a lot of garages and parking in addition to the garages. So now we're gonna jump back up onto the road, let these cars pass. Again, right here we are crossing over the Parks and Recs bike path. Something that's really nice, well, before I say that, off to our left, we have another community pool, kind of clubhouse, really nice. And I've probably said this before, but in the summer, it does get really hot here, and having access to a pool is really nice. And can be something that really ties a community together, because you could go to the pool, and it could be a good way to meet your neighbors. Like, I'm a parent with 4 kiddos, and I could really imagine if you lived in a place like this, you'd go to the pool area, you'd meet your neighbors, and you could find other mom and dads and just find different ways to connect. So here we're gonna kind of loop through a cul-de-sac. Currently, the 1 house for sale in Surprise Valley is listed for right around $900,000 to $1 million, in that range. And I think this last year, there were 12 homes that were sold in Surprise Valley total. So now we'll go ahead and turn right here. A little snow on the ground still. You can see the ground is not super level here. You got a bit of slope, so all the driveways are slightly sloping up. You got mailboxes on the street, which I'm sure the mailman appreciates that. I always do love when mailboxes are on the house though. I just can't imagine a kid riding a bike and just whacking his head on one of these mailboxes. Something nice here is you have these trees, so really mature trees. This is not a new neighborhood, which is nice because then everything is a bit more grown. And then if you can kind of see it back to the right, you're seeing another kind of bench, so a rock face. So So like these houses to my right are kind of right up against the rock face, so they're probably don't have much of a yard. In front of us, you got a house there with a 3-car garage. I've seen comments where people really like having their garages. I've often heard people say that if they end up with like a 1-car garage, it just feels too small. But out here, you were getting options for 2-car and 3-car options. In the summertime, when I go for bike rides, I will cut up through here and ride this route on my way home. And it's a really fun ride. It's just a nice community. I'll go ahead and pull in here to the clubhouse. And we'll just do a quick little U. So again, here's our clubhouse. Beautiful clubhouse with a pool in the back. And you got a play area out here. Some tennis courts. We'll go ahead and cut back out now. So again, off to my right, you are gonna see that hillside that we're kind of tucked up against. That to our right too, if you saw that, that looked like it was the community garden for this area. Now we're gonna go ahead and turn left into here. Again, that's the bike path that kind of cuts along the road as well. So in here you have some single level homes and 2-level homes, 2-car garages and 3-car garages. Great trees, great sidewalks, nice yards, front and back. And there's a lot of community space in between the houses too. As you can kind of see on the map, you kind of see these large green areas. And there's a spot further up too. Oh, and even to our right here, you kind of see a trail that kind of cuts through and gives you access to that center courtyard area. So they did a really good job with planning and connecting things. I'll do another loop here, but you see here is another trail, which if you lived in this neighborhood, you could take this trail and cut over to the clubhouse back there. You wouldn't have to walk out to the main street. And again, people over there in that community can also cut that trail. And now I'm getting dizzy doing circles in this roundabout. Oh, beautiful aspen trees. All right, here we go. Got some squirrels running around today. It is a cold, chilly winter day. I was just talking with a gentleman who is coming up and visiting from California this month, and he's smart. He is coming and visiting when it's cold. And I was talking with him about that and how it is a good idea to come up here because it could be something that would cause you to, maybe decide that Boise's not for you and you don't want to deal with the winters every year and you'd rather live some other place like maybe Arizona or Texas. So it is something to think about. Oh, there we got a 4-car garage. So these homes on my left, your left, our left at the moment, they are gonna have a view overlooking the Boise River, and it is gorgeous down there. Additionally, down there, there are some walking trails. So if you really want trail walking to be a part of your life and to have really close access to it, this could be a great place for you. We are a little ways away from town, maybe 10, 15 minutes from town. So you are a little bit further from things. You are one of the last developments as we head east from Boise. And we are pretty far out here because this butts us right up against kind of the Boise River and the road that would take you out to Lucky Peak. So you are close to Lucky Peak, which is a recreational area. It's a big reservoir that we have. I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, didn't make it. We're gonna let this lady pass. So again, a great place to get out, walk your dog, get on the trails, and even in front of us, it's kind of hard to tell, but there are trails directly in front of us right now. So even behind that tree, and you kind of see a little path right here, and the sidewalk even cuts to it. And so it's kind of nice if you don't want to walk on concrete or you want to get out of the neighborhood, you can kind of, walk off to the right, or again on that other side of the community. All right, now we're gonna cut left through here. I'm gonna show you guys this whole thing. I just want to pause for a second. If you guys are enjoying this video and you're thinking about moving to Idaho and you want to take the next step, then pull out your phone and email me or text me or call me. I get calls and texts all the time from people just like you wanting to relocate here to Idaho, and I would love to be your guide. So take the next step and give me a call. I would love to chat with you. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go right. So again, what you're seeing is you kind of turn off that main road, and then you have these little pockets of homes that are interconnected, but you can tell that if you live here, it isn't really a thoroughfare of cars going by. It's like really you're only back here. Oh, and there's a home for sale right now. Really, you're only back here if you live here, or you're delivering the mail, or you're dropping off a newspaper in the morning. Good sized yards, good sized lots. Again, these homes right here in front of us, they're gonna be the homes with the view, as you can kind of see through there. And again, you see there, that's the path that would allow you to get to the next kind of street with the houses, but then you could pass right through that and keep going on to the community pool and clubhouse area. And if you want to know more about this neighborhood, I did another film where I talk more about the details of it to give you a different kind of view of it, whereas this one is geared solely for just driving you guys around so you can see it. So here we are, turning left again. Again, you see some paths up in the foothill. This lady off to our left walking the dog, she's gonna see me going in and out. She's gonna think I'm crazy. So again, off to our left, if you can kind of see it, you see the bench there and the path and the grass. So there are these areas kind of in between. So you just don't really feel like you're, on top of your neighbor. There is space, and they've done some good stuff with planting trees and doing some scaping of the area to make it look good. All right, we're turning right now. Some of the decor that you're seeing out here, you're seeing some stone on the front. You are seeing some board and batten. A lot of two-story houses, a lot of mature trees. Again, there are paths connecting this neighborhood to the one to the right of us. And then again, these homes in front of us are the homes with a view. I like what they did here with these kind of mini cul-de-sacs, but then with landscaping in the middle. It's really beautiful. And it is very, I don't want to say ugly, but come spring, when these trees start growing and get leaves again, it is so beautiful back here. And obviously the trees are nice. They cast a lot of shade, keep this area probably a bit cooler than it would be without them. All right, let's see where that lady is with the dog. Oh, she's just to our right. All right, we're making some ground on her. We're gonna go ahead and turn left. All right, now we're gonna turn right. So this is South Horseshoe. So again, off to the left, you kind of see houses are a little bit higher because they're up against that hillside, so they have sloped driveways. Off to our right, we have flat driveways. And again, just beautiful trees everywhere. And I do enjoy trees. And something I notice about these trees is that they're all in really good shape. I think what's nice about them is that there are not a lot of overhead power lines or anything infringing on their growth. So they're able to really grow in a beautiful, natural way. Though this one to my right did look like it got a little hacked. Oh yeah, it definitely did, okay. But a lot of them so far I'm seeing are just really great, really mature, and will probably be really good trees for years to come. Okay, there's another home for sale on our left. Hopefully, as you're watching this, I will throw those listings up so that you guys can see them. And you can get a feel for what's going on and what's in this neighborhood. And let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of this video? You guys enjoying this? Would you like to move into a neighborhood like this, or what are you looking for? I had another gentleman, or I don't know if it was a gentleman, somebody else commented on one of my other videos, and they were curious to see homes in like the 300,000 to 400,000 range, which is going to be more out towards Nampa and Caldwell. So that is on my to-do list to go out there. I've also talked to some other people, and you know, they want to live in a place maybe like Eagle and, you know, get maybe an acre of land, and you know, they're in the maybe, you know, 1 to 1.5 million range and retiring. So let me know where you're at, what you're wanting, because there are so many neighborhoods and I plan to just keep making those films. But if there's something you're wanting to see, I would love to bump it to the top of the list so I can get it out to you. And let me know, where are you guys watching from? What state? I've been talking with people from New York and California and Colorado. And a lot of people who are wanting to leave the current states they're in because of politics and maybe home prices. But all right, here we are again. I'm actually gonna jump out of the car right here. I want to show you guys this little community area. I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna grab the camera. I don't want to show you guys this area. So as I was saying earlier, there are these kind of pockets in between the homes that are great for you if you want to get out and walk, or you want to take your dog for a walk and you just want to get away from your backyard. It's nice because they create these spaces open to the public and the homeowners so that you guys can all enjoy it and get access to the foothills. So even if you don't, say, live in one of the houses that has a view straight out there, you could easily just go for a walk and you're just like this. So I just walked down that path and now I just get to walk out here. It looks like we had some kids sledding down that little hill. They probably weren't going too fast, but you just see a ton of foot traffic. I think last time I was actually out here showing a friend around, we ended up having a great conversation with the gentleman who lived out here, who was out walking his lab, who he was in the process of training. But so as you can see, if you can, that is kind of a concrete reservoir, which is dry right now in the wintertime. And then the Boise River is further over there. And then you can see the far side of the hill. But if you wanted to, you could keep walking down this path and get all the way down there, and then kind of walk through there if you wanted to, and walk all the way down here. Or you could take this path right here and you could walk down that. So again, you could walk here, you could walk on that side. But now you see, if you did have a home with a view, this is what your view would be. And the nice thing about that is the sun's right there right now, the sunset's over there. And then obviously the sun just casts beautiful colors all over these foothills. So it is a sight to see. It's really pretty. I really enjoy riding my bike over here in the evenings, or when I'm coming back from a ride or coming back from fishing on the river. So now we're gonna go ahead and walk back. As you see, that's that main road that we've been driving on. And you could easily, if you lived on the other side of the street, you could just walk and cut across, and you could have access to this and you could go for a walk. But that's something that's nice about this. There's just a ton of land out here. And again, you can kind of see, like, you're not right on top of people. Like this house, you know, they have this little fence, but it's not like the next yard is starting right there. Though that is like that on some of these, but nice trees. All right, I'm just chuckling to myself because that lady just opened her garage and saw me mounting a camera back to the top of my car. And I'm just thinking, what must she be thinking of me? Like a guy driving around with a camera on top of his car. It's funny doing these YouTube videos. I'm glad. I love doing them because I love hearing your guys' response and how grateful you are just to see neighborhoods and see around Boise. But I'm still getting over the self-consciousness, being self-conscious of it all. All right, so here we go. So older couple, again, out walking their dog, and again, he's on a path. But it's nice, you kind of see, I don't know if you saw that, people wave, they're friendly. I've loved meeting the people out here. If you don't know, I relocated here with my wife. My wife is originally from Idaho, and we relocated from Oregon. And we just love it. We love it, love it, love it. And it's interesting because no matter where you live, you just kind of become really, really accustomed to that. And then it's fun moving somewhere else and you start to get accustomed to the way other people do things and how maybe hospitable a community is. You get to see that, or all sorts of things. So it's been very, very pleasant. We've just loved where we ended up. We ended up in a older neighborhood. I'm a big fan of mid-century modern homes, and so we bought a old 60s house, and it's kind of nice too, because then you're moving into a neighborhood that's more established with people who have lived there longer. And it was nice. One of the neighbors 4 doors down, older woman and grandma and her husband, I think they dropped us off like cookies and jam the first week we moved in, and it was just very, very warm and welcoming, and we couldn't be happier with our move to Idaho. Okay, so now we're on the right side of the road, right? So again, we got that hillside back behind us. And I'm not positive, but I would not be surprised if there was a trail behind all of that, so that if you wanted to walk that ridge or even get up on that ridge, I bet you could, but don't quote me on that. So again, you got some three-car garage, a bunch of basketball hoops, which tells me maybe some older kids are in this neighborhood. Again, beautiful trees, as you guys are seeing. I'm literally trying to figure out what I can tell you guys, because all these are just great, and they're very similar, and they all have beautiful trees. But again, if you went out here, like obviously we're taking our time as we're going through it, but if you went out here and took a right, you would eventually hit the main road. You'd take a left, and that would take you all the way down to the Boise River and straight out to Lucky Peak. So again, this community is one of your farthest communities east. Well, gosh, it almost is. There's like one more on the other side of the main road out there, but it is your farthest community east, this side of the river. So directly in front of us, that's where I just took you guys, where we were walking. So you kind of see the foothills over there. I love the landscaping they did over here. So you got the rocks and the grassy hill, which probably helps with noise. Got some people out walking again. All right, we're gonna take a left in here, and I'm gonna show you guys this. I'd be curious too, while you're watching this, leave me a comment. Tell me why you're considering Idaho. I'd love to know what it is that's causing you guys to think about moving. I'd also love to know if Idaho's on your list, or let's say Boise is, or the Treasure Valley, what other places on your list? What are your like top 2 or top 3 places that you're thinking about moving? I was talking to a guy this week, and he's between Idaho and Arizona, which are 2 very, very different places. And again, my goal with these videos is to make it so that as you guys are in that point of deciding, man, do we want to move to Idaho, or are we thinking about somewhere else? I want to help you determine if Idaho should stay on that list, or maybe you want to bump Idaho off that list. And it'd be amazing to be able to do that for you guys through videos and save you guys a bunch of time of travel and things like that. So, but yes, leave a comment down below. What states are you considering moving to, or what areas within Idaho are you considering moving to if you've already solidified on wanting to move to Idaho? All right, we're gonna turn right here. And also, when we come back out, I'll show you across the street right there is another community pool. So if you're further on this side of the neighborhood, then you would get access to this pool that would be the closest one to you. So again, this is a fairly large loop that we're driving through, as you can see on the map here. Something I like about this neighborhood too is that it's just not a big like square grid where it's all checkered off. Nice little cul-de-sac in there. But you kind of, you know, it's a larger community, but then there's these little tinier kind of pockets or pods within it. And I bet it helps create a sense of community within these little central areas. I know that's really big. I've talked to some people and they want to move here. They want to feel like there's a sense of a community. And I think, as I was saying earlier, like I've felt that just in where we live. And I have to think that every community's got its own way of kind of going about that and making people feel comfortable and at home and part of where they live. And so again, I think that's what's nice about this area is that you kind of have this designated area where the community can go hang out, where the kids can go hang out, which can help you get to know neighbors if you guys have kids. So we're going to turn right, and again, right off to our left up here is a community pool. So we'll actually turn in here and I'll flip around so you guys can get a look at it. And man, I tell you, on a hot day, it is nice to go dip your feet in a pool. So here we go. This is the pool. Not really a big clubhouse attached to this one like it was on the other one, but just a nice fenced off pool. All right, we got 2 more little pockets to turn into. And then when I leave, actually, I'll leave out the back and I'll let you guys kind of see what I was talking about in relation to the Boise River. The North Rim. All right. It's a pretty little house. I like how the garage kind of sticks out and kind of crank into the left. Interesting where they offer parking in the center. It's kind of nice. It's always nice when people provide parking. And again, if you want to learn more about this neighborhood, I've posted another video where I talk about more some of the specs on it, the HOAs, and just other details on it that aren't necessarily just a driving tour of it. All right, we'll cut straight across, and then there actually is one more tiny one after this, a tiny little loop around. Because as you can tell, it's kind of getting narrower and narrower. This hillside in front of us right now is closing in, and the ridge off to behind us is also closing in, so it's kind of forcing everything tighter and tighter. And we also have another home for sale on this street. Looks like we got some construction going on or work, maybe roofing or sheetrock. And they're blocking the street, so we're gonna have to flip a U right here. Oof, again, beautiful trees. This place is a real gem in the summertime just because the trees. That is the one downside of new construction. Like, there are positives. All right, there we go. We got a sale pending on that house. But there are positives, obviously, to new construction. Everything's new. It's not worn. But one of the downsides is typically you're just not getting the trees that you get in a neighborhood like this. Though you eventually will, because they plant them and it takes time to grow. But that is something nice about this, is that it's already matured. It's already there. You kind of see what the landscaping's like. All right, so we're gonna leave here. We'll go out and take a right. And then we will see one more spot, and then I'll take you guys down to check out the river. Got some kids at that house for sure. They got ropes stretched across the trees with a bunch of stuff to play on. All right, taking a right. So now we're heading east. We have a little house, a couple houses on our left here that we'll cut into, and I'll show you guys. It'll be a quick little loop. And then we'll also look at Barber Observation Point. All right, here we go. So this is the last of it. These are as far east as you can go in this neighborhood. Again, beautiful homes, great paths connecting them, so if you don't want to go out and walk on the main street, you don't have to. And we'll cut through here real quick. So this is Barber Observation Point. And again, you get that same view that you guys saw earlier, but it's just a nice stopping point, a good viewpoint for the general public. And now I will cut you guys down to the Boise River so you can kind of see where this is once we get off this bench up here. So this is Highway 21. And technically, I believe those are the furthest homes east right there, which would be Canyon Point. All right, here we go. So if we stayed on this road right here, it would take us all the way out to the reservoir and then on. I mean, this would take you all the way out to Stanley, Idaho. But right now we are on the bridge, so we are passing over the Boise River, which is currently directly underneath us. And now you're on the other side. And off to our right, they've done a lot of work down here to this outdoor area and done a lot of replanting and worked on making habitats for fish and the wildlife down there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pull down here and I'll turn around right here. But hopefully that was helpful, and thanks so much for watching. Well, I hope you guys liked that driving tour. I really enjoyed driving around and showing it to you guys. Let me know in the comments what you thought. If there's other areas that you want to see, I would love to add those to the top of my list so that you guys can see those. Again, if you're enjoying this, be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button and hit the bell if you want to get notified every time I post a video each week. And if you're thinking about moving here to Idaho and you want to take the next step, then give me a call and start the conversation. You can shoot me an email, you can call me, you can text, you can schedule a Zoom. Links are all in the description below. I would love to chat with you about relocating to Idaho. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys. I enjoy the phone calls. I love connecting. And until the next video, have a great week.